Hello guys, this is Doronsmovies and you're watching the 12th episode of the lore Q&A. Today I'll be answering some of the questions you guys left in the previous video. If you would like to get your questions answered, make sure you either put them on the Q&A lore videos, and it is best if you put them on the newest ones, as those are the ones I usually check, and also you can send your questions over YouTube personal messages. And the other way of doing it is to send me questions over Facebook or Twitter, as you have links to the description for that below. Okay, so let's start. Stefan asks, you said that there were no dragons in Outland, but the Dragon Maw were keeping the Nether Drakes captive. What about the dragons on the spikes in the Blade's Edge? Okay, so what happened there was a result of the Second War, and when Ner'zhul reopened the portal again, Deathwing came and made a pact with the Horde, and he offered his assistance with his Black Flight, and he said that he would help Ner'zhul find the items he needed. In return, Ner'zhul had to let him through the portal to Draenor, where Deathwing would lay his eggs, pretty much just hide his eggs, and Deathwing's plan pretty much failed, as some of his black dragons, as you can see in Blade's Edge Mountain, were hunted down by the Gron just for sports, and the others that didn't really fully grow, the other dragons, were affected by the energies when Draenor exploded from too much energy caused by Ner'zhul, so they were turned into Nether Drakes. So yeah, there were no dragons in Outland naturally, but they were only there since Deathwing brought them. Okay, next. Coldbrand asks, do you think there is any hope for a new race or races or a new class? So lame to have an expansion with neither no models or nothing else. Well, at this point I'm pretty sure that there won't be any new races or classes added in Warlords of Draenor. However, we are getting new models, which is amazing as it is. So also there probably will be new races in the next expansion, most likely after the Warlords of Draenor, as I believe the Horde is bound to get the ogres, as the ogres have really been in the Horde since Warcraft 3, and they were definitely being playable one day, so I can't really guess what the Alliance would get, but I guess it would be appropriate with the expansion that would come at the time. Alright, next. David asks, with Vol'jin being the new warchief of the Horde, who is gonna be the faction leader of the Trolls? So I don't think this has been announced yet, but I'm hoping that it will be Rokan, as he has a long history in the Warcraft franchise, as if you played Warcraft 3 you could see him in the Rexxar campaign, as he was the troll you were assigned with by Troll, and although even Vol'jin is the leader and the warchief of the Horde, he can still lead the trolls by himself, but I would like to see Rokan as the representative of the trolls. Okay, continuing on, Mr. DJ2105 asks, why would the Burning Legion still try to take Azeroth? I mean, after 2 failed attempts, you'd think they would just move on, right? I don't really think they would move on, because their goal is to conquer everyone, and I'm guessing if others hear that they can destroy a world of Azeroth, which Azeroth is actually a relatively small world compared to the rest of the universe, and if others learn that they couldn't defeat Azeroth as a small world after 2 times, 3 times, that they would lose their reputation. And honestly, I think the main reason they still want to take Azeroth is to revenge their losses, like for Sargeras and Archimonde and such. So yeah, I believe that we will see at least one more invasion of the Burning Legion in the future, and it should be pretty big. Okay, so next. Devane asks, I was watching the Warlords of Draenor panel from BlizzCon, and Chris Metzen said that the last boss of the expansion won't just be an orc guy, and there is a guy behind the guy. And I just thought, what if this guy was not only Kairos Dormu, as most people concluded, but Kil'jaeden in disguise, trying once again to bring about the end of Azeroth through other people. This would also link the other statement Chris Metzen said about this expansion spilling into the next. Do you think that this theory has any chance of being true? Well, it could be possible, to be honest. The expansion is set around the time Kil'jaeden started corrupting the orcs, so it is possible that we will see him. However, I don't really think that he will be the main boss. It is actually possible that Kairos will play a big role, but I'm guessing that we will see something unexpected, like some sort of a betrayal from someone we thought was on our side, but then that person would be the last boss, as he would betray us all. Well, That's just my speculation, but the only thing we know right now is that Kairos Dormu and Garrosh are plotting something and that they will cause a major threat to the world, but I guess Blizzard is just yet to announce the final boss. Okay, next. Michael asks, what role do you think Khadgar will have in Warlords of Draenor, because he hasn't really done anything since the Burning Crusade, and why isn't he helping the Alliance out, since he was a part of the Alliance of Lordaeron and he is still staying in Outland until Warlords of Draenor? When do you think he will come back to Azeroth and help the Alliance and King Brynn, because he has known him since he was a boy, and maybe he can help Varian out with the Horde problems. Actually, he might come back pretty soon. Right now, he is pretty much in the same position as Denna Trollbane, and they're both stuck in Outland and have a lot of stuff to do in Azeroth, but just aren't doing anything, and I honestly think the main reason for that is because Blizzard just doesn't have enough resources to return them, and if they did return them, you know, they can't just return them as questing NPCs, as they have been in the Warcraft franchise for like 15 years, 20 years. And they are very well developed and important characters, so yeah, my guess is that he will return either after Warlords of Draenor or in Warlords of Draenor. Okay, continuing on, Max Powers asks, Wrathion is obviously the last Black Dragon, and his father Deathwing tried to destroy Azeroth. Now Wrathion is trying to defend the world, the opposite of what Deathwing tried to do. Now, do the other aspects have any contact with Wrathion? Do they trust him? Do they know that he is alive, and if they don't, would they still be his allies or enemies? Well, as I might have mentioned previously, Deathwing isn't actually his father, and he's just a father of the entire Black Flight, and Wrathion is in the Black Flight, so he just calls him father, but he isn't actually like his biological father. And he's also a really weird character, as he's somewhere in that gray spot, you know, between a villain and a hero, and I've always felt that he is just kind of good, but then again, it's all a part of his bigger plan to do something evil, as he is a very mysterious character. Now, I'm guessing that the other aspects know about Wrathion, as they have probably seen him before, but I don't think they would be his enemies unless he does something really bad. Alright, next. Source VR asks, do you think Sylvanas will be removed shortly from her seat of power politically and military? I love the Forsaken, they are my go-to race. I really just dislike her and the direction she is going to lead Forsaken, as they are no longer the same as they used to be, and many rogue members have committed acts of high treason under her watch. I can't decide if she is just losing her touch or is allowing these things to happen. What is the ideal scenario for the downfall, rage, corruption, removal, whatever you want to call it, for the Dark Lady? Who would you want to take her place? Who I would want to take her place would be Galen Trollbane, Nathanos Blightcaller, Lillian Voss, and Belmont. Well, I'm guessing all of that is just a part of her master plan, as she's apparently been doing something really bad, and a lot of things which will just turn out, as I said, to be a part of a bigger plan, which we will most likely unravel in an expansion after Warlords of Draenor, or an expansion after, as no one really knows at the moment, and she's apparently going to do something really bad, and might even go the same way Garrosh did, if not even worse than that. And I'm guessing there will be a sort of a siege of Undercity, but that would be a bit too corny, and she might just take some of her forces and make a new throne, maybe even in Northrend, but I don't think that will happen. But if not in Northrend, maybe some new continent or near Undercity, and then we would have to attack her there. Also, about who would take her place is really hard to answer, as the Forsaken don't really have any strong developed characters like other races do, but I guess with some story development right now and in the future, everything could be possible. Alright, and the last question is by Jay Super, and he asks, I have a question I've been meaning to ask. What would happen if Arthas took over the world in Wrath of the Lich King? Okay, so this would be just my speculation, but what my guess is, if he did somehow manage to actually take over the world, he would most likely either kill everyone and rise them as undead, or enslave them and then use him as their minions, as his minions. But yeah, after that, after he has conquered the entire world, he would probably turn into another Burning Legion and most likely try to take other worlds and get as much power as he can. But yeah, that is just my guess, and as all of you know, nothing of that is going to happen. Alright, that's all here for now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave your questions either by YouTube personal messages, YouTube comment system, or Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to like, favorite and subscribe. Again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.